because I had a weird week of travel, but good week of travel. I don't mean weird. I just mean an abnormally large week of travel relative to, the new normal where you're not traveling as much. And I love it. I love being back with people. Oh my God, Michael, it is just so awesome. In fact, it was funny. We had our holiday lunch and everyone came in. And I'm having, the year-end remarks, and we give a most valuable Creeker award. And I said, guys, I love this. I love this. And I wish this was like this all the time. And you just saw these faces like, I said, don't worry, I'm not going to mandate that we come in. And one of the guys like, mandate it.
You know what? Actually, our director of finance this week was like, I've decided I'm coming in every day. I'm just happier when I'm in. I'm coming in every day. And I was like, I will join you. I will come in every day too, because I'm actually just happier. I've said this the whole time. I used to be a consultant. I actually am very familiar with traveling and working on the road. I just really don't think it's all it's cracked up to be. And I think people crave connection.
We are meant to do different things in different environments at different times. We're meant to live in our home. I don't believe we're all meant to work in our home. We're to live. And when you go to work, it's kind of like, here I am looking sloppy today in a t-shirt, but Michael, if you dig deep into this, again, because these predate the original central bank, the Amsterdamse Wisselbank, or Wisselbank, I'm not sure how you pronounce it, which was established 7 years later in 1609, again by the Rothschild family, which created the mercenary force, of which its roots were in this force that you talk of, that conquered the Spanish Armada.
Yeah.
The most powerful naval force in the world in the 1500s that dominated the world, right? They created the world. Remember, there were no horses in North and South America. There were no pigs, no chickens. There was a lot of gold here that ended up back there. And so I'm not saying they were all perfectly good, but they were powerful. And this little tiny place, right, the size of Indiana, takes them over because of the ability to print money out of thin air. It must have been in the UK. I can't think. Nope.
The Standard Oil.
Oh my gosh.
And John D. Rockefeller.
Oh my God, of course it was.
Yeah, because at that time it was illegal for businesses domiciled in one state to do business across the border of another state, which, by the way, totally different time. The way that they got around this was a trust, which was governed by joint stock, and you could actually sell. And actually, John D. revived this old, at one point very used sort of form of corporate and financial structure to, get around essentially regulatory arbitrage.
Yep.
And he used it actually, he was kind of the guy. Now you're like, oh, you get equity in a company, that's how you build wealth. He basically pioneered that guy. He was famously, kind of plata o plomo. He acquired a bunch of companies, but everyone kind of got rich that he acquired on the Standard Oil stock. So
let's just say he was called a robber baron for a reason.
Oh, he's a ruthless businessman.
Robber baron is not exactly a flattering term, right? It's not like there are going to be people that go to work to do deliveries and extra stocking. But the thing that's still happening is my brother and sister and the boomers are turning 65, 10,000 of us every day. And they take these people out of the workforce. And so you get this weird employment, unemployment thing. And so whatever. But the bottom line is so that to me, that's different. Like jobs market is still fine. And it's because I believe we're back to near normal. And I just did the reason I was in Denver, I was doing this talk about, relearning how to invest in the new normal, which is the old normal. Like from 2009 to 2022 was the abnormal. And you got everybody pointing to the Fed futures and all this stuff. And now they're saying they're going to cut in January. Like, what? Why? And I think it's because people are like, well, because we have to go back to zero. I'm like, no. We don't have to go back to zero. We can stay right where we are for a very long time and be at the low end of the normal range.
Right.
And that's the part that I just think we have to get rid of the pollution, right? Of the pollution of the data. And that will happen. So I'm not surprised by the market reaction. I'm not surprised. The one thing I am surprised by, to be honest, it's not like they have insider trading inside information, but they have better information about what's happening in what I call the PPP. Oh God, I'm tired because I went to bed so late.
They also just might be a large part of the market. I had drinks with a guy who, the way he described it was like, the thing they don't tell you on the macro podcast is there are about 10 guys that really move the direction of.
No, it's the PPT. I'm sorry, the plunge protection team. So this is the Council on Economic Stability, right? They meet every Sunday, and it's the head of JP Morgan and the head of Citi and the head of Goldman Sachs and the head of and I can't remember the fourth one, or Morgan Stanley, and then the Secretary of the Treasury and the head of the Fed, and they meet at the New York Fed and they make the decisions. Well, if your buddies are meeting in that meeting, and if you control those machines, then you have an edge. I mean, you go back to the days. There's this guy, I can't remember his first name, but Hall. He's from Chicago, and he was a math genius. And it's not Brett Hull because that was the hockey player, but I can't remember his first name. Doesn't matter. So he started trading options on the Chicago Options Exchange. And then he noticed there was some anomaly with the Pacific Exchange, right? Because the time difference. And so he was he was crushing it. Mm. As the urban legend goes, he basically got barred for being too good a player. Like, you're not allowed to do this anymore. And so he had to find another way, and he started a different type of trading company. He sold Goldman Sachs, and he's done great. But that went away, right? Over time, there was no Pacific Exchange, and the technology erased that bid-ask spread. And people should do it in London too, right? They'd do one in New York and one in London, and the one place it does still happen is the overnight trade. Like, most of the gains